Hello. Hey, Ope. How's it going? It be doing? That's good. One second. Oops. One second. There we go. Much better. Little cinematography rule I learned is like, you never want your chin to be off. You never want to like have the camera cut off your chin. Like, it's okay to cut off part of your head, but cutting off part of your chin is like awkward. It looks awkward to people. That's good. So I kind of want to make a fake magazine. So I thought it would be funny to make like I want to like make a magazine, but I want to add like fake ads and like a cover and stuff to it. So I downloaded a bunch of these. I got a bunch of vintage ads, and I thought it would be fun to try and like use them as reference points to draw fake advertisements. Yeah. Well, secretly, the chin is one of those things that we look to for like apply. Okay, there we go. So I got a few. I located. I downloaded a few like old ads. A lot of them are like Coke ads. Oh no, that's a video I made. Cause I like. I think Coke makes fun old ones. Like this is an old cigarette ad. I think this is an old paint. Yeah, this is an old paint ad. Um, so I thought do make a fake like ad for something. I don't know what yet, but that's kind of my plan. How the heck do you spell? Ugh, I'm sick of TikTok. That stupid AI song has been stuck in my head all day. How the heck do you spell chauffeur? Chauffeur. Well, la-di-da, Mr. Fancy Pants. Okay. I kind of got fascinated by Fallout's like fake ads that they have. It's partly what's inspiring this idea. Have you ever played like a Fallout game? Also, I've been watching Mad Men, so let's see. Uh, um, I actually think that's one of the weaker games, but let's see. New Vegas is the best. New Vegas, three, New Vegas, and four are pretty fun games in a lot of ways. So let's see. Yeah. Oh no, 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 that makes sense. No, I get why people play multiplayer games. Tourism ads for. I released a little video about Cuban history recently, so it's got me a little fascinated by that. Cuban history, or like a weird event that happened in the Cold War today. I was very proud of myself. I actually went and researched it, and I found Opus, I went to sources. I made sure to track down all the sources and cite them. Which was annoying, because which was a little annoying that nobody linked to them, but I linked to the articles that they were talking about. So I felt like a real fancy historian today. So anyways, it was a so there was a declassified document, and so it turns out Kennedy and Castro had been. It turns out that Kennedy and Castro and later Johnson had been negotiating behind the scenes. Like there was in public they were all rah against each other, but in private they were actually they were actually talking quite frequently behind the scenes. And one of the things that slipped out was that Castro infinitely wanted Johnson to win his election campaign against Barry Goldwater, and he said, and this is pretty funny, he was like, yeah, if you want to like take some hostile actions against me, or like as long as you tell me, I'll be fine with it. Like if you want to like do some rabble rousing against me and maybe even take like a little bit of a hostile action against Cuba, that's fine. You can do that. Just inform me beforehand. Jadon! And I was like, that's the funniest thing ever. How's it going, Jaden? Excited? That sounds great. Jaden is getting out of school in 2 days. I mean, the last 2 days should be like a cakewalk, right? Like, cause like I remember the last 2 days when usually when I went there, in school when I was in school. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? He's like, yeah, just if you want, feel free. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? He's like, yeah, just if you want. Middle school, right, Jaden? Middle school. Or are you a freshman? Oh, you should be. Are you starting high school next year, Jaden? It's good. I've been good. Didn't do much today. We're going through old ads and seeing what we can learn from them. So next year, in 2 years, you'll be in high school. Or so no, that's how it worked in my school. My school was weird. Because ninth grade, we stayed we stayed till ninth grade. Where's my eraser? Yeah, go say hi earlier. Hi. Glad I introduced you to. So what should the ad be about? Oh, the reason is. One second. I gotta get. How's Lear, by the way? One second. I gotta get an eraser. Oh yeah, Jay. What are yours? Oh, there it is. Well, now I'm getting bigger ideas in my head. Now I'm getting big ideas in my head. My project is starting to creep, Opus. It's starting to creep. I'm having a little bit of a project creep here. Marlboro Man. I've had a slightly bigger idea. I have had an idea, Opus. Welcome back. How's Lear? I have had an idea, Opus. Welcome back. How's Lear? I've had an idea. A fun idea if I could pull it off, but an idea nonetheless. Well, I have seen you every day, Jay. I've talked to you for about a month. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just gotta. Hot. Hot. I mean, it's really hot out today. I'm going outside. What's the weather like? It's 88 degrees. It's 88 degrees today, Jay. It's 88 degrees outside today. Part of me wants to travel north. Yeah, and that's not as hot as it's gonna get. It'll crouch up to like the hundreds at some point. Yeah. But why did I choose to draw a hat? I'm so bad at drawing hats. S'mores! S'more! Good to see you. Heidi, Heidi, Heidi ho. Hey, S'mores, how's it going? I'm good. It's hot out today. But I got a lot. I'm good. I got a lot accomplished. I made 4 videos. Even one longer video, which is making me happy. Now I'm trying a slightly bigger project in mind, and I don't know if I'll succeed. Yeah. Oh, okay. S'mores, it was a delight seeing you. Enjoy yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I got my tea. Don't worry, it's iced.
I got my tea.
I'm now racked by indecision. I have a fun idea, but I'm a little racked by indecision.
I'm now
Thank you.
racked by indecision. I have a fun idea,
Okay, let's do this. Let's do the fun one. Okay, let's do that. Nope, I know what that is. Okay, yeah, I usually have all the streams on just to keep check of them, and if I'm dumb and I forget to mute one of them, it'll do that. Should be. Is it good now? Yes, thank you for telling me. So Jaden, have you got all your tests done? Any big exams left coming up, or are you done with most of it? Yes. That's awesome. Yeah. Man, I gotta tell you, getting those numbers up. All I care about right now on the YouTube channel, I like having more subscribers, but well, talk to your cat. Meow meow, cat. Meow meow. Like, all I'm thinking right now is how to get the watch hours up. That's all I'm working on. Meow meow, kitten. Meow meow. Meow meow. So, Opus, what have you been occupying? Yeah. Sure. So, Opus, what have you been occupying your time with? It does give your life purpose, setting arbitrary goals on something and then doing it. I saw this video on TikTok. Ugh, I need to get off that stupid site, but we'll see. I saw this video on the TikToks where somebody was talking to this music producer, record company, and they were trying to negotiate getting signed by them, and they said, "Well, we only sign people with 50,000 followers." And one, that's ridiculous, because it's like, oh yes, Unfortunately, I don't think you understand. We expect you to do most of the do most of the work yourself, and then we get the credit for it. But two, oh man, I've had good art days these past few days. People are not gonna like this as much. And I was like, and then I was like, okay, I can do about 50,000 words. That seems reasonable. Doing your job. Yeah. How is Spider-Man 2? Opus has a sort of job. A little bit of a legal quandary, but nothing arrestable. Where Opus is translating mangas. I'm having an Argentinian tea. Mixed with a little green. Let's see. I don't know. This might not be the one I want. We'll see. Listen, the best way to get people in here is to have a good drawing that you're working on. And I'm not doing great at the moment. Translating any fun ones? As a kid, I was obsessed with the original Spider-Man 2 game. Like the adaptation of the movie. They made a video game version of that, and I was so obsessed with that game. I loved it so much. I replayed it endlessly. I've been trying to find a way to like emulate it on a computer because I can't find any. Like I have legitimately considered just buying another GameCube, like buying a GameCube again, and just playing it because I really want to replay it. I'm sure it will not live up to my memories of it being the best game ever, but I want to try. Darn it, I want to try. That was my experience at Pocket when I was doing a job like that in a slightly more official capacity. You guys want to hear my idea that I had? It just kind of popped into my head right now. I have an idea for a project. Maybe I shouldn't tell it. Every time I tell an idea, I never end up doing it, and I kind of want to do this one because I think it's a really fun one. It would be a lot of art and a lot of writing, but I think I'd enjoy it. Okay, so I always love the. I always one of my favorite things is when they do like in universe media and stuff. Like I always love that. Like I always find that such a fun idea when like they do in universe like newspapers and magazines and stuff like that, and it's like presented like that. And I had this idea of like I want to do something like that where I tell the story of a universe, but I do it like as an in universe magazine. You know, like okay, not this example, but like take it as an example. Like, what if you did like an in universe, like say an in universe magazine for? I want to do this, but think of it in like these terms. Like, do an in universe magazine for like Star Wars, like a magazine reporting on like the goings on of the Star Wars universe, but you use that as like a storytelling, but like you do a full magazine like with like ads and like covers and stuff like that, and like articles about like life going on, and you create like in-universe products. Isn't that a cool idea? I really want to do that idea. Like I think that would be a really fun idea. Tell me your fun idea. Or like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Star Wars. It could be like, but like some, your own, my own maybe fictional universe, but told from that perspective. I don't know. Because I'm obsessed with like, I don't know if you guys ever. I'm older, and I think both of you. Did you guys ever read The Onion? It's still around, but it's fallen pretty hard, unfortunately. I was obsessed with The Onion when I was a kid. So The Onion is a fake news website, and it's not like political, like like what somebody like Trump says, but it's like it's deliberately making up fake news stories for jokes. Let's see what's it doing today? I haven't visited the site in a bit. Let's see today's. Let's see. Can't repeat that. National parks visitors treated to majestic sight of crow eating napkin. Anyways. Well, they would have like it's fallen off pretty hard. It was a lot funnier, like in the mid 2000s. Anyways, if I could, I would show you like a bunch of videos that they did, and we would laugh and laugh and laugh. Anyways, I don't know. So like, I always thought it would be fun to do like something like The Onion, which kind of makes up fake news stories, but has no real consistency to it. Okay, that sounds fun. But wouldn't that be a fun idea? Like, okay, yeah, that could work. Um, I think so. It's like a getting together of the Sinister Six, pretty much. Ah, cool. You should do it. Write that up. That's fun, right? That's like like right, Opus. That would be a fun idea. I think at least. I've had a setting that I've wanted to try for a while. So like a fantasy setting that I've wanted to try for a while, or like a sci-fi setting at least. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, I came up with this idea like a few years ago for a kind of cool idea for a sci-fi setting. So basically, might do it there. So basically, so the basic idea is, um, knowing me, it's an alternative history thing. But the basic idea is that in the 1930s, okay, alternate history. It's like era of like super science takes over instead, and we invent space travel really early. So one of the first things we do is we colonize the moon, and the moon is both this hyper advanced has both this hyper advanced city, but the you get out more into the boonies, and it's essentially like it's a Wild West situation. I am obsessed with alternative history, Jaden. I am very obsessed with it. You do not know the level of depth my obsession goes with alt history stuff. Okay, here's something to blow your mind, or if you think about it. Arguably, all of fiction is an alternate history story in some way or another. Because it predisposes that there are people that exist within the universe. Yeah. That do not in real life. Well, alternate history is alt universe is fun, mainly because it's like you don't have to worry about. I would argue worry about dealing with like what actually happened in history, and you're allowed to like mess with it in any way you feel. Like I feel like a superhero. Eventually, all superhero universes embrace alt history in some way. Well, I'm never gonna ban you. I won't ban you. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Whenever people say like, "Hey, don't ban me," and then like they take a while, I'm like, "Oh God, what are they gonna say?" I do get nervous anytime somebody says that. Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's I don't know about that. Like, oh God, that 9/11 issue. I'm not. I wouldn't ban you, especially for that. Yeah. So like, ugh, I don't know, man. Doctor Doom crying. I don't know, that's Joe Quesada. Oh man, Joe Quesada, man. I don't know. His tenure. His tenure is. I mean, Joe Quesada. I don't know. There's some good things about Joe Quesada. It's like his tenure introduced one of the worst plot points in Marvel history, and it has nearly ruined like the marquee character. So it's hard for me to ever totally be cool with him as a person. Man, how do you get even into that? So Marvel did a 9/11 issue, and it's not great when 9/11 happened. Like the entire country was grieving, and Marvel takes place in New York, and the offices are in New York. Uh, Offices are in New York, so it's like I feel it was appropriate for Marvel to make one, like they should. Like you can't ignore that, but it's like what they did was essentially like they had character like they had one of the most infamous things is they had like Doctor Doom crying during it. It's like, oh, this destruction, and it's like not like a year ago, Doctor Doom like I think nearly destroyed, like killed thousands of people, and I'm like, ugh. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about this, my man. I don't know about this. Like, have Spider Man, like, have Spider Man, who's a New York City icon, like, talk about it. Like, have, like, but, like, the entire. It's ridiculous. I don't know. There's a little part of me that thinks it's like these are colorful people in superhero costumes. Don't have them be involved in this real life tragedy. Ugh, man. Anyways, so that's my opinion on 9/11. Jesus. Anyways, no, listen, Jay. To get something over, you just kind of gotta. You just kind of gotta keep hammering at the joke until you can wring some humor out of it. At least that's how it works for me. Like whenever I tell a joke that bombs, I try and play into how much it's bombing, and I can usually get a laugh from that. It's it's what Johnny Carson. Two. No. Spider-Man original Homecoming. Spider-Man 3. Wow, you picked. Wow. Brave. So, Opus. Tell me, tell me. You watch any shows lately? Are you still watching that Canadian crime show? Big fan of Venom. No, that's fine. I was like 14, I think, when that movie came out. Elvis, do you have Disney Plus? Now, you gotta remember, like, where I was in my life. The first two Spider-Man movies were, like, awesome. Like, they were some of the best Spider-Man things I'd seen when I was a kid. And, like, those were events when those two movies came out. And so when the third one came out, I was, like, hyped beyond all heck. It was my last day of school when the third one came out, even. So I was like, yeah, this is awesome. It's the last day of school. I'll get to see Spider-Man 3. And I was less impressed. It was. I don't even think I've watched it ever since I saw it the first time. Oh. Yeah. Psych. Oh, I love Psych so much. You know, now that they brought back Monk, now that they're doing more Monk, here's my thing. Like, now that they're doing a series of Monk movies as well, here's my thing with Monk. Let's finally have a Monk Psych crossover. Like, I feel like that was like a thing that they should have done. I want a Monk Psych. I want a crossover with Monk, where Psych and Monk team up. Have they? Is there a full-on crossover? No, I don't think it's out yet. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. There's a new Monk. Yeah, they're starting to do like they're bringing back Monk the same way they brought back Psych. I think they're going to do movies with. They're going to do the occasional movie, but like they need to do one where it's like Psych and Monk where like they meet up. Like, come on, that needs to happen, right? Like. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, I'm talking about the two TV shows. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, Opus, you might remember the show. I was talking about this show yesterday, and I realized people have not seen it, and I'm very sad that people have not seen it because it's a very good show. And I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot as a teenager. Have you ever seen Gargoyles? Zilla! How's it going? Good to see you. It's a really good show. How's it going, Zilla? Uh, uh, oh, it's Zilla. Zilla. The 1970s. The 1970s TV movie. That's the bet. That's one of the best things you can do. Are you going to enjoy yourself? No, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite. That's one I like to surprise people with. Is the 1970s? It's the TV movie that they made in the 70s, though, just to be annoying. I mean, I really like Tom Holland, so but I haven't rewatched his Spider-Man movies as much as I did the Spider-Man 2. And I think ultimately, the movies you rewatched a ton are the ones that are your favorites. The Tobey Maguire one. I find the Andrew Garfield ones cheap looking and kind of boring. I like Andrew Garfield as an actor, and I think he could have been a really great Spider-Man, but I find them, like, the thing I always said about... What's what? There's so many things. This? It's this camera. I find them cheap. I think they come off to me like the CW version of what CW would make if they were tasked with making a Spider-Man show. I am cheap. I'm an incredibly cheap person. Also, Andrew Garfield was too old to be playing a high schooler. It looked wrong. No. You said, "Hey, Sean, what's that?" Here's my thing. It feels... I am old. I've been reading Spider-Man for a very long time, Jade, and I've been reading and watching Spider-Man things for a very long time, so I have quite a lot of experience with it. I find my problem with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies is they feel... I'm jaded. I can literally see the comments are saved. Anyways. So I find the Andrew Garfield movies cheap in a not really that fun way. Honestly. Stop gaslighting me. I don't know. They feel like a TV special. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the director. I find him to be a little precious. Did not like his previous movie. That's not MJ. That's not MJ. That's Gwen Stacy. I mean, they look good. That's Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy is blonde in the comics. No, cause yeah, that's not MJ. That's Gwen Stacy. MJ never appears. They, Marvel doesn't like Mary Jane. It's a whole thing. I've gone into too long about Marvel's weird treatment of Mary Jane. Yeah. Fun fact: Gwen Stacy is actually the original romantic interest for Peter. No, it's actually not. It's Betty Grant is the original romantic interest for Peter, but they don't include that anymore for obvious reasons. But so the story is this is it's a fun one. This is one I like. Like Mary Jane was just supposed to be like kind of a one-off romantic interest, and it was always going to be Gwen Stacy in the end. But Mary Jane was just so popular that they changed the whole thing and made it Gwen Stacy. Made her the romantic interest. Because, like, the thing with, like, Mary Jane is, like, you can tell she was not originally written to be the final, like, kind of love interest for Peter. Because she has a lot of unique things that set her apart from, like, romantic interests, I think. The main one... Anyways. So, Mary Jane... Yeah, no. Yeah, Gwen Stacy was always meant to be the original romantic interest. But readers just responded so positively to Mary Jane, which I know sounds weird now. Because, like, Gwen Stacy has gotten this whole, like, glow up with, like, Spider-Gwen and all that stuff. But that's not how it was initially. Like, Gwen Stacy was not... Like, Mary Jane was just a more, like, dynamic character, like... Yes, tell me. Yeah, Mary Jane was just the more dynamic character in a lot of ways. She was a much more... she was just like more exciting. Like, if you read the comics, like, she immediately comes across as the more fun one. Like, arguably, she's better remembered now because writers have made her a more interesting character. So... Stan Lee, okay. The creation of, like, if we want to get into the history, the Spider-Man creation is actually a little bit more complicated than just Stan Lee creating Spider-Man. A more important a person whose name gets left out of the conversation a lot for reasons, because he's kind of we kind of became a jerk, which is unfortunate because he's a really brilliant dude. Is a guy named Steve Ditko. You always see Spider-Man created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. So Marvel had like, when Stan Lee ran Marvel, it had a strange process. Yeah, okay. So, okay, I have a whole rant about Mary Jane and why Mary Jane's a good character and they don't treat her right, and I have a whole rant about how Marvel created Spider-Man. We can go in two directions. What do people want to hear? What do people want to hear? I'm going to make this a poll. What do you guys want to hear? My thoughts on Mary Jane or my thoughts on the creation of Spider-Man? How Spider-Man was created. How Marvel did Mary Jane wrong. Why Mary Jane is a good character. Hey, Howard. Okay. So, okay, people want to... Okay, feel free to vote. Feel free to vote on... Okay. Okay, so... Okay. Mary Jane is a good character because Mary Jane is not... Her world is not centered around Peter, and that's what makes her a good character. But that's kind of the problem that, like, say, certain editors will have with the character. So, Mary Jane is unique in... Okay, how to explain this? How's it going, Howard? Okay, it looks like Spider-Man is gonna... okay. Okay, everyone wants to hear about Spider-Man. Okay, so Spider-Man is... Okay, so there's this thing called the Marvel method. And how Spider-Man... And it goes to show you kind of how Marvel was created. So... Well, it's looking like Spider-Man's going to win, so I'm going to talk about Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man... so, Marvel... So, Marvel doesn't create... Marvel didn't create characters by sitting down... By, like, say, Stanley sitting down and going, like, okay, we're going to have a Spider-Man. What they would do, and is called the Marvel method. And the Marvel method is... How it kind of worked is Stan Lee would extensively come up with the plot, like the outline to the plot. Then he would hand it off to the artist, and that was usually either Steve Ditko or Jack Kirby. And the artist would draw the entire plot, draw the entire panels, and then Stan Lee would come and add the dialogue. So what this means is who created what and who influenced what is really complicated to actually figure out, because also Marvel let people influence things. Like, I believe it was Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's brother, who created the Web Shooters? So, like, there are several people you could ostensibly credit for the creation of Spider-Man, but it means that under Marvel, artists were much more involved in the storytelling than, say, like, under DC, where the writer usually was in charge. So with Marvel, with Spider-Man, it's important that Steve Ditko be talked about, because Steve Ditko is the one who's ostensibly actually figuring out a lot of the plots and how the characters will work with each other, before Stan comes in and would take a pass at the dialogue. And according to Stan, he didn't necessarily always take a pass at the dialogue, and it was the artists would do that themselves by the end of it. So when you say created, it's important when you say who created Spider-Man that Steve Ditko is mentioned in the same breath as Stan Lee. And he gets written, he's starting to get a little bit written off the history books, which is a shame, because Steve Ditko is a really great artist and writer. He's also, let's be clear, a giant jackass who kind of burned his reputation in the comic industries for very, very obvious reasons. Whereas Jack Kirby is a whereas Jack Kirby, the other big kind of Marvel artist, there's a few others. The other kind of great Marvel artist is beloved institution and a great human being, who we all love and respect, and who brought the world immeasurable joy with his brilliance. And Steve Ditko is really good too, but he is he's a lot. Steve Ditko is a lot of things. Steve Ditko, man, I love Steve Ditko. It's really quite Steve Ditko. Okay, so Steve Ditko is great. In fact, he's maybe one of the best that ever existed. I did. That's the creation of Spider-Man. I went through kind of how it worked. We're on to Steve Ditko, who in many ways is the true, who was just as important and in some cases probably more important than Stan Lee. Now it's important to note that Stan Lee has always said that Spider-Man in some ways represented him as a character, like is the closest to his personality. And he obfuscated a lot of kind of obnoxious things that Ditko wanted to put in. Like, okay, like there is this idea in like really kind of serious nerd comic things where it's like, oh, like Ditko and Kirby were the true geniuses, and like Stan pushed them aside. And for Kirby, yeah, that's kind of in a lot of ways. But for Ditko, like Spider-Man would not be beloved if like Ditko had gotten full, like if Lee hadn't stepped in to like curb some of Ditko's more odious ideas. Like, anyways, so that's the creation of Spider-Man in a way. It was a group effort, and several writers and artists were involved in it, including Stan Lee, including Steve Ditko, including Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby also, I forget. Jack Kirby came up with something big. I think he came up with the web shooters, if I remember correctly. Larry Lieber, who is Stan Lee's brother, who worked a lot, who also worked at Marvel, came up with several ideas as well. So it was in many ways a group effort that created Spider-Man. Of like the original bullpen at Marvel, which is like maybe one of the greatest artists and writer teams ever assembled in one place for comics. That won't be matched till like say the 90s when like DC brings in like the British brings in like all the British greats to write Vertigo stuff. But you know that doesn't happen for a few years. So that's the basic creation of Spider-Man. Okay, Mary Jane. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Listen, if you want to read how Ditko would have made it, like try and read a Mr. A comic. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But Ditko is super important in the creation of Spider-Man. Spider-Man does not exist without Ditko's influence. And here's the thing. Steve Ditko kind of looks like how... Okay, let me show you a picture of Steve Ditko. Just to kind of show you what I mean by this. Steve Ditko. Welcome back, S'mores. Okay. Yeah, there it is. I knew somebody would be. Somebody would make the point. Okay. Make the point about this. Okay. Found it already. Oh, right. How's it going, S'mores? Okay. So, let's see if you can see this. That's Steve Ditko, and that's how Steve Ditko drew Peter Parker. Can you pick up on a slightly facial similarity? Yeah. Steve Ditko essentially drew Peter in many ways, Steve Ditko drew Peter as his avatar in a lot of ways. Yeah. Yeah, but this is how Peter initially looks in the comics. Like this is how Peter initially looks in the Yeah. Right? It goes down to that level. Yeah, Peter is in many ways a self-insert for Steve Ditko. Or essentially kind of the nerdy, ambiguously Jewish kids that all the Marvel, early Marvel guys were. Right? Yeah, you can see like he's very like Steve Ditko is a very important person to like Spider-Man's development as a character. And Steve Ditko is so good. Oh my god. Oh, your little video. Yes, your that was I liked your video. Yeah, I left a comment even. Um so this is going to be I haven't talked about this in a little bit, but I'll throw this out there. One of my favorite comic books of all time is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is actually in kind of my top 5 superheroes, and at times he's been my favorite. I liked it. It's good. It's good. Yeah, I liked it. And the art for the original Doctor Strange comics are amazing. Like, it's so one of the things I like about Doctor Strange, not to get onto a random topic, but one of the things I like about Doctor Strange is it's usually like you have to get the really good art, like really good artists have to work on it, because like if really good artists don't work on it, like Doctor Strange loses its kind of power a little bit. So every time you like, so if somebody gets a Doctor Strange gig, usually they're like a really cool artist who will like do weird things with Doctor Strange. Yeah, it's good. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's a good little story. I think you set it up well. I'm interested to see what episode 2 is. And Steve Ditko stuff for Doctor Strange, like the original Strange comics, it's so good. Anyways. Can you guys tell that I like vintage old comics? Like I know a lot about them and I like talking about them. People? Yes, you don't say yes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I don't like about it. Then there's a lot of fun. Like I was reading I did a video on Doctor Fate today, and Doctor Fate is always a character I've been interested in because I just like his design. But boy, kind of a B-lister in a lot of ways. At least his origin story is a real snoozer. It doesn't help that it's not been well preserved. I don't know. Some people had a few recommendations for me. Like, the pacing feels off compared to modern stories at times. You know. Um, Anyways, you guys want to hear my Mary Jane rant? It's a good one. It's all about story structure and how love interests work in superhero stories, and why I think Mary Jane is a really interesting love interest. Okay, Mary Jane is a weird character in the concepts of superhero story because so here's the thing with Mary Jane. I like Mary Jane because she has a unique thing compared Okay, let's think. Who are some famous like romantic interests for superheroes that you can think of off the top of your head? They're all going to have something in common. I can guarantee you that there's something in common all of them have. Okay, Lois Lane. She's a reporter. She primarily reports on Superman. Okay, go on. Keep saying them. Elektra. Elektra is a fellow assassin and involved deeply with Daredevil's mythos. Keep going. Keep going. You're gonna find it. You're gonna find a through line through all these characters. Catwoman is a both Catwoman and Black Cat are thieves who their characters have or jewel thieves that their characters have to fight and are involved in the superhero lifestyle. So I'm trying to create a fake ad. I'm trying to create a fake ad. Yeah. Okay. So, the thing with yeah, Gwen Stacy also has kind of a thing like this, but then Gwen Stacy gets killed too early for her career to progress. Okay. So, it is unique that Spider-Man has a little bit of this, but then when they brought back Gwen Stacy, she's just involved in the superhero world. So which is good. But she's not really a romantic interest of Peter then. So, okay, here's kind of what we have to think of. Most superhero love interests are some way. Hello, Mellow. Hello. I'm trying to create a fake ad. It's more so like she's advertising something. I haven't decided what yet. Well, I have sort of decided, but I'll explain in a minute. Okay, so. Welcome to the stream. I'm just going on just a little bit about yourself. Are you an artist? So, I don't know. What do we want to name her? I don't have a name for her. So Mary Jane is so most superhero love interests share a very common thing together. Draw Thunderbolt. So most superhero love interests share something in common with each other. They are in some way involved with the superhero world. Like almost every superhero protagonist is somehow involved in some way with the superhero world. Like Elektra is a fellow like ninja assassin, who was trained by Stick. Lois Lane is a reporter and she reports a lot on things that Superman gets involved in. Like it's not difficult to write their plot lines into superhero stories. Whereas Mary Jane has an interesting wrinkle. Mary Jane is not involved. Mary Jane has no real connection to the superhero world besides being married to Peter or dating Peter. Mary Jane has her own interests. Like Mary Jane wants to be an actress. Like she wants to be an actress, and like she has her own life she's leading outside of Peter. Like she has her own friends. She has her own social circle. And she has aspirations outside of like the world of superheroes. She's a normal person she's just a person who wants to be an actress who lives in the world of superheroes. And that's kind of what makes her interesting, is she's a character outside of Spider-Man. Like she lives her own life separate from Peter in a lot of ways. Whereas like most romantic interests, and like this out of like, I'm not like saying this is the reason they do this is pure story convenience so that they can have the love interest be involved and stuff. Don't do that. So this creates kind of a weird, unique thing in superhero. This creates a weird dynamic. This creates a unique dynamic in a lot of superhero comics. Is that while Peter is doing superhero stuff, Mary Jane is not really involved in it. She has her own life to live, and I really like that. That feels to me much more realistic. That like, that feels more down to earth. That like, characters have lives outside of their stories. But this creates like a lot of problems, say for writers, because that means like you have to like when they want to like have Mary Jane be part of the story, they have to contrive a lot of ways to do it that don't feel like authentic or realistic. Like it's like Mary Jane is not really like being a superhero is something Peter is just a thing. That's just his life. Like that's his like his social circle, his life, and it's not like. And I think that's so cool that like she has this like independent character. She's by herself. She has her own desires and ambitions outside of it, but it's not, And there is a very kind of like weirdly like sexist turn where it's like she's kind of too independent of a character in Spider-Man comics in a lot of ways. For that, like guys, like say the editors, like editors are comfortable with, is that because she's this person with her own independent ambitions. It's like, well, she's not like just talking about Peter all the like she doesn't have to think about Peter all the time. And like the thing with Spider-Man is supposed to be a more realistic character, and he's supposed to be kind of a young guy in the city, learning to like become a Superman. I think you have. Yeah, you have. And Spider-Man is not. So that feels realistic. That feels realistic that Peter has this whole thing going on where it's like his love interest or like his girlfriend and his wife has their own ambitions and ideas. And sometimes Peter can't be the star of their lives. Like it's Mary Jane has to be. Anyways. I really think that's so cool. I think that's like such a cool thing in Spider-Man comics, and it's what gives like Spider-Man comics like this more like the sense of verisimilitude or realism or what have you, that feels like somewhat like approaching real people. Like there are just people who are not live their lives outside of the stories and are not involved like in a superhero universe. They're not involved in superheroes. Anyways, yeah, I think so. Go ahead, share again. But I don't know. They don't want that. They don't. Comic book writers struggle to write that at times because that's a little bit more complex, and the plotting, you need to have a bit more of character-driven stories when doing stuff like that. So that's the Mary Jane rant. That's the Mary Jane rant, and I think she's an interesting character, and when written well, she can like bring a lot to the Spider-Man world. It's also why I don't like that they turned her into a reporter in the games. It's honestly those games that really made me sit down and think, why is this bugging me? Because I'm like, is it just me being annoyed, that they're not being comic accurate? And then I really thought about it, and I thought, no, her not being a reporter, her not being involved in like Peter's life, in some ways is actually, I think, is actually a much cooler idea. Anyways. How long have I been on for? Yeah. Yeah. So, but like, that's kind of where my thought like this is kind of where my thought it kind of like I really examined why I thought I find that I don't like that. I don't like that change. I'm not a fan of that change for the reasons why I said. Because instead of her having her own life outside of Peter, now she's just part of Peter's world. She just is in reflection of Peter. So I still like those games. I think those are good games, but I don't like that change. I'm not a huge fan of that change. I think it makes it a little less interesting. Because it's just Clark and Lois. It's just a repeat of Clark and Lois, and it's like, yeah, we've seen superhero and reporter. That's not new. That makes what had been a fairly interesting plot quite generic. So, because like the plot, like the love interest is in like so love interests in comic superhero comics are usually reporters. They almost always make them reporters or detectives. That's the other one they like making them. Somebody that can be involved in the story without contriving it. Yeah, or criminals. That's the other one. Hey guys, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna take a little break and get some food. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. Does that sound good? I think that does. it going? Sorry. Got a little distracted. Did warn everybody that I would be back. It would be a little bit of time before I came back. I was pretty hungry. Had dinner. But now we're back and we're going to focus. Focus really hard. I'm back. I am back. How's it going, Zilla? What you working on right now, Zilla? Nice. Nice. I mean, those last ones you showed us were really awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was good. We had some Chinese food. It was good. I mean, Chinese food in the sense that it's like it's not all that different from, say, something you could get at Buffalo Wild Wings, but it was very good. So yeah, Mary Jane. Mary Jane's an interesting character, and nice, nice. Jaden! Hey, Jaden. How's it going? What you gonna focus on? That's good. Food is good. I like food. Honk. I don't like her. What? Okay. Ah, yeah. I can do that. Have fun. Oh, and thank you, Zilla. Thank you. What? Tell me. Oh, I'd love to see it. If you guys haven't seen, yes, of course, I would want to see that. Is it more pixel art? If you guys don't know, Opus does some pretty fun pixel art. Awesome, I love pixel art. Brope! How's it going? Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. Did you post it? Is that it? How's it going, kiddo? Hello, hello, hello. There you go. Great. You kicking ass in Valorant? But you're having fun anyways. That's what's important. Oh, thank you, Jaden. So what's been occupying your days lately? I assume non-stop partying, hanging out. Just a girl. I have a loose plan about making this a fake ad for a fake product, but I haven't decided on what the product is yet. What should the product be? So how's the family? How are your sisters? And have you seen any new movies yet? Is Furiosa out yet? I can't be the only one in the world excited for Furiosa. That's the one I'm really excited for. Furiosa. Oh, nice! What you been gardening? What you growing these days? Yes, Jaden, yes. Ah, it's fun. Opus, I love these ducks. These ducks are very cute. Oh, I like that. I like that, Jaden. That's fun. So, okay. Okay, Brighton. Brighton. Excited about any movies coming out? I'm very excited. This is proving to be an interesting summer for movies. Anything look good? Or is it just staying at home playing Valorant? Which is also a justifiable answer. Oh, right, right. You have seen Mad Max Fury Road, right? Yeah. Yeah, at some point. I want to see it. It's just I want to see. There's a few on my list that I really want to see before that. You haven't seen Fury Road? You can start here, Jaden. From what I understand, they skipped forward in the. They skipped a couple hundred years forward in the storyline. The newest movie, so you can start there. I will badger you to watch that movie. Yeah, you could start. You could start. You could start with this one, and you wouldn't miss anything. So, did you see the? Have you ever seen the original Planet of the Apes opus or the reboot? The reboot is really good. Surprisingly, the rebooted movies turned out to be great. Sure. Actually, Batman. Actually, Batman and Robin is the best. Why, Pencil? Why would you do that to me? Mm-hmm. And then there's several sequels to the original one that are not really worth remembering. Honestly. Skip. Like the original sequels to the original movie. Like the first one is a great movie. The first one's a really good movie. The original Planet of the Apes is a really fun movie. But beyond that, you don't need. I don't know how necessary it is to watch the sequels. Yeah. Yeah, that's all you really need to watch, really. Like, there's Battle of the Planet. There's Battle for the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, but none of them are that good, honestly. Yeah, but the rebooted. Oh my God, Opus. The first attempt they do at a reboot with Mark Wahlberg direct with that. Did you see like the 2000s one they attempted to do? That one is garbage. Oh my God, that one's so bad. Anyways, uh, it's it's not. There was one reboot before they landed on the new ones that are much better. Anyways, but the new one starting with with Caesar and all those ones, those are the best. Those are really good. Those are really good movies. All of them are pretty great, in fact. But yeah, from my understanding, the new one that just came out, Jaden, if you want to see them, the new one that just came out is the start of a new series. So, and the new one that just came out has jumped forward a couple hundred years in the timeline. So you can just start there, and that's not that big of a deal. You probably haven't seen this rebooted version. The rebooted version is really bad. So the movies are about this. They develop super intelligent apes. They experiment on apes, and they become super intelligent, and then the apes essentially conquer Earth. And you're cheering for the apes. Honestly, Jaden, start with Caesar. Start with Caesar. I don't know. You might like the original, but I think you'd enjoy the Caesar one a lot more. No, it's not. Planet of the Apes. Well, the reason I'm saying you can just start with this one is that the new one is out in cinemas. Dawn of the Planet. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is great. With Caesar and that. So it's, oh my god, it's so bad. My first experience with Planet of the Apes was the Tim Burton movie they did with Mark Wahlberg. That's a garbage film. Yeah, no, but the Caesar stuff is great. Man, when I was in the theater and Caesar spoke English for the first time, like the audience erupted in cheers. Like legitimately broke out in like started clapping like spontaneously. That was such a great moment. Like Tom Felton is in the first rebooted with Caesar, and like he played aka Draco. He plays the son of the son of an owner of a kind of an abusive ape sanctuary, and it's so. And he just like he's been like this bastard the whole time, and then like Caesar just goes no. I love that movie. That's such a good movie. Now I want to watch them. Maybe I'll make videos about them. It certainly wouldn't hurt to make. Yeah, that's the start of the reboot trilogy. Start there, Jaden. I mean, I encourage everybody to watch older movies, but start there. Brighton, have you ever seen the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston? I mean, the original is a pretty fun, like, sci-fi movie. But the original movie, the sequels after that are like, I don't know. Don't bother watching them. Okay, so, oh, that one, maybe. So it's actually based on a book. I was just like, Planet of the Apes, funnily enough. And I was just about to... I was just thinking, I should read the book. I've never read the book. It's pretty funny. Yes, yes. Oh, is that Thunderbolt? I like it. I like it. So, bro. Yeah. Yes. Yes, James Franco. Who... Not my favorite actor in the world, James Franco, but he does a really good job in that. And then... won't get into it, but he's done some shady things. I'll leave it at that. But... I'll leave it at that. There's some skis behind those eyes. So Brighton, you excited for Deadpool and Wolverine? Deadverine? Yes. Yes. Same guy. Yes, it is, in fact, Matt Reeves. He in fact did. Yeah. He in fact did direct The Batman. Yeah. Is there any other Marvel movies coming out this year? I don't think so, right? That's good. Honestly, that's good. I think Marvel became a little bit overexposed. I think it's good. Like, Marvel movies used to be an event, and then they became just kind of, so routine. I think people stopped caring about them. So I'd be happy if they went back to rare experiences. You can't miss something if it never goes away. Partly, which is why I do take... Well, the comics are. I'll tell you this, the comics are. Still nobody really reads the comics. Yeah, exactly. I miss... Oh man, I am so disappointed. I'm so disappointed that Spider-Man doesn't get to fight Kraven. Okay, so Kraven's Last Hunt is one of the best Spider-Man stories. Maybe the best Spider-Man story. Well, one of the best. Top 5, top 3. It's certainly my It's certainly maybe my favorite Spider-Man story. And the fact that we don't get to see that, and they kind of make him a hero, sucks. Like, he's gonna be like some anti-hero. Oh, that sucks so much. And the director is so... I'm hoping against hope that movie turns out good, even though I'm having doubt. Brayden, are you saying you didn't love Madam Web? Are you saying you're not thinking about Madam Web at least 2 times to 4 times a day? Madam Web's mom's was in the Amazons with Salazar, the best character. She was in the Amazons with Salazar's researching spiders. All I do is I wake up every day and I think about. I just think about Madam Web, what's going on with Madam Web. Yeah, he's a pretty scummy guy. Let's not get into it. This is a fun place. But yeah, I would be happy to never see a movie with him again in it. Hey, Fluff. How's it going? Good to see you. We're just talking about Planet of the Apes and Madam Web. Oh, thank you so much. Are you an artist? It's pretty fun. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, that's where I brought it up, just to give people warnings. But that's fine. I struggle drawing animals. What are you best at drawing? Which animal are you best at drawing? Have you ever heard of the artist Louis Wayne? Fluff? Animals are awesome. Do you guys know the artist Louis Wayne? He's one of my favorite artists. Let me find. I have a question. What is my favorite animal? That is a very good question. I mean, I like dogs and cats, but oh, you know what I like? Okay, there's this thing called it's a Maine. Let me look it up. Maned wolf. I think that's what it's called. Yes. Oh. Oh yeah. That. You mean raccoon, right? Okay, so this is a Maine wolf, or a golden wolf. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. That's So this is Maine wolf. It's like essentially it's like a wolf but on like deer legs. It's really cool looking. See, look. Also, I like. Yeah. Also, I like raccoon dogs. Maine. Oh, they're so cool. Look at these beauties. That's a Maine Coon cat. Have you guys seen raccoon dogs? Raccoon dogs. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Look how beautiful they are. Uh they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Let's see. Other good animals. Other good animals. I like red pandas, obviously. Red pandas are great. Everybody's seen red pandas. Do you guys know about red pandas? Look up red pandas if you haven't. Or if you do, look them up anyways. Uh, you do? Fluff. Fluff, are you where are you from, Fluff? Oh, you know what I also like? Palace. Oh, that's really cool. Do you guys know Policy's cat? Paulus cats? Terrible novelist. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Happy. Whoa. Happy Snitch. We're talking about animals we like. This is a Paulus cat. It's like a big fluffy. Terrible novelist. Gray wolves are cool. We all like gray wolves. Thank you so much, Terab. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, what's your favorite animal? Brighton. Okay, if you could have, Brighton, what are your three favorite animals? You know what? Everybody, what's your three favorite animals? Let me a good poisonous frog. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Dogs are good. What specific breed? What's the specific breed? Uh. Oh, I love honey badgers. I like. You know what I also like? I like. This is maybe controversial a little bit. I like coyotes. I I've always thought coyotes are cool. Irish wolfhound, that rules. Go. So what were you guys working on today? I like wolf spiders because they do an important job. What do you got? Uh, are you getting close to time off in school? Like here in the U.S., everybody's getting summer vacation off. Uh, ooh, jaguars. Love me a good jaguar. You know they've started to re-enter the U.S. jaguars. You know we used to have a native population. Oh, oh, okay. So terrible. So terrible. Hopi, what were you guys doing? Tell me. I love. Oh, wolfhounds are so cool. Wolfhounds are so cool. Wolfhounds. I was reading them. I was reading about wolfhounds. Okay, so you know they were brought back wolfhounds. Like that was a genetic. That was a project that dog breeders in Ireland did, where they brought them back essentially. Wolf spiders. Fun story about. So you know cranberries. One thing that people do to preserve cranberries when they in the bog when they're growing them is they'll let wolf. Okay, so you know with like. Okay, you know with wolf spider, you know with cranberries. Have you ever seen how they get cranberries out? They grow them in a bog and then they flood them and then they collect them. So one of the ways they keep cranberries safe from bugs that would like eat them or lay their eggs in them is they throw wolf spiders into the bog to hunt them. So when you're collecting cranberries, one of the things you have to look out for is so when you're collecting cranberries, wolf spiders will wolf spiders will grab onto you. Now wolf spiders don't attack. They don't attack unless they perceive you as a threat. So you have to be calm. Just be calm and you'll be fine. But so like one of the things they say is like if you're gonna get those jobs, you have to be really comfortable because wolf spiders will cling on to you like crazy, like wild. Yes, they are built-in pesca. Isn't that wild? Well, you should get a job collecting cranberries then. They're non-poisonous. Fluff, I get a sense you really like spiders. What's your golden orb spider? I like daddy longblades. Is that somebody who studies spiders? Spiders. Golden orb spider. Oh yes, sorry. Oh, paleontologist. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, they're beautiful. I'm dumb. I wasn't reading it fully. Yes, I know what a paleontologist is. Spiders. You know, with the way like most animals work, I bet there'll be like a huge spider. Lucas's spider. Oh, Oh, guys. Mox, Hopi, thank you for the follows. I appreciate that immensely. Yes, I know of Lucas the spider. Do you know Lucas the spider? Exactly. I figured you could tell me what's the biggest spider you've ever heard of? They are very cute. I also ooh. Oh, I've seen those, yeah. She's actually yeah, she's great. She's great. Do you have a pet fight? Do you have a why can't I say words? Do you have a pet spider, Fluff? Welcome back. Just practice, I guess. I didn't realize I was drawing it good. What are you making today? I have decided that terrible stands for the great and thunderous rider. Are you going to get one when you move out? So terrible can mean terrible, but it can also mean like Ivan the Terrible wasn't like that wasn't his nickname. It's more accurately translated as Ivan the Thunderous. So I interpret that. Good name for it. So the great and thunderous novelist. What you been working on lately, friend? That's a good name. What breed would it be? Would it be a jumping spider? Would it be a golden orb spider? A tarantula? Oh, that's adorable. That's cool. Yeah, if you want your things beta read, Terrible here offers that up service for free on there. on their stream. Well, that's a healthy way to deal with it, my friend. I'm glad. We love you, Terrible. So Terrible. No, that's good. And less serious news. Planet of the Apes. What's your opinion on that? Best trick. But spiders can be plenty fluffy. Yeah. The first one is pretty decent. And then the original series is kind of... The first one is actually a legitimately decent sci-fi movie. Then the original like sequels are kind of garbage. Then the Tim Burton remake is extra garbage. Oh my god, is that a bad movie? Oh, Hoppy, you're gonna hear. I'm about to say something you might not like. The rebooted stuff is pretty great. Start with the reboot. Like, I think the original movie is pretty fun, but it's also like you have to be like Oh, I love that. Waffles is but I would say like my advice would be if you're not like used to the pace and tone of like 70s like older sci-fi films, you might not like it because it feels different than what you might be used to. And there are better. I mean, it's a pretty good early movie, sci-fi movie, but there are better sci-fi movies to maybe older sci-fi movies to really sink your teeth into if you're interested in that. I'm trying to think which ones I would recommend, and I mean, Star Wars obviously is the one I would recommend. The Bee Movie? You mean the best movie ever? Starring Barry B? I love how weird and weird people got about that movie. There's like one video where like a guy reads the script for like straight for 12 hours. She left her. Oh my god. Listen, if you're gonna make... Shrek is pretty good. I think the Shrek movie is secret. I think the like ironic Shrek fandom is secretly less ironic than they like to pretend. I suspect that people legitimately kind of like the Shrek movie, but are doing bits about it anyways. Jaden, we won't hate you. Come on. You are a friend, Lee. Friend, you are welcomed here. Yeah. What's the most cursed movie you would say from your childhood? No, tell me about this. Tell me about these people. Oh my god, that is a terrifying. That's a decent movie. That's actually like that was worked on by a lot of early that was worked on by a lot of people who went on to be like I think Brad Bird directed that movie if I'm not mistaken. And like Brad Bird goes on to direct a bunch of really like is one of the Pixar people. But that is a terrifying movie. Okay. Okay, what type of stuff do they do? S'mores. You know that's a Muppet that's a Jim Henson production, right? The Dark Crystal. Some people like that's a classic in some circles. Have you guys ever seen? Have you guys ever seen? What is it? Watership Down. Do you guys know about Watership Down? It's a fairly intense like drama about I like that movie. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a fairly intense movie. Oh, Plague Dogs. Oh, that's a yeah. Watership Down is funny because like people will rent it thinking it's like a family friendly movie about rabbits, and it is not. It is not. Oh, that sounds cool. Um, let's see. Ooh, what's a movie that scared me as a kid? Like I don't know. I was scared of dumb movies as a kid, like movies that nobody should. I'm not scared of now. I don't know. I was such a coward as a kid. I barely watched any scary movies. I watch them now. But I was so like. I'm trying to think of one that really scared me as a kid. Cause like I was, you know what movie really scared me as a kid? The Mummy. That really scared me as a kid. Like when the like this like with the 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 scarab climb. I don't know. I was really freaked out by that. That really disturbed me. I'm sure I'd kind of like it now. Uh, I mean, yeah. Well, it's yeah. See, the thing is, I don't think I'd be at all scared of it if I watched it now. Yeah. Well, yeah. Scream is supposed to be kind of a comedy. Uh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's so like the scarab thing really creep. The scarabs crawling. Yeah, that's freaky. Uh, hmm. There's like some animated movies I watched like as an adult that like left me like scare me. There's this movie. What is it? It's called. Is it like the Lost Planet? Oh, thank you so much. Thank I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one. That's a terrifying movie. It's this French animated movie. It's about like humans are pets to these like giant blue aliens, and it's just like I don't know. It's yeah. Or I don't know, what movies did I watch as a kid? Like as a kid, I watched like say The Lion King over and over again. That was a movie I was obsessed with. Then there was like it's called is it called The Lost Planet? I think is what it's called. Coraline is a scary movie. I really liked like this. This is me. Like I liked. You know what movie I really liked as a kid? Changing the subject slightly. Who here has seen Treasure Planet? Did you guys ever see Treasure Planet? I watched that movie like 50 times as a kid. Yes. I liked that movie. I thought that movie was so cool. Oh, that's such a fun one. And Atlantis. Yes. I like all the Disney movies nobody else likes. Like I like Treasure Planet and I like Atlantis. Those were two movies I really liked as a kid. Those were like two of Disney's biggest flops, and I like those. Oh, I love Star Wars. Atlantis is such a good movie. And it flopped her. And the designer. You should know, Opus, that the designer for Atlantis went on to make one of my favorite comic books. Not went on. He was hired. A fun fact about Atlantis: the character designer for that is also the creator of Hellboy, the Hellboy comic. Like, you should. I mean, I listen. I liked it as a kid, so I think clearly it's really good. It's probably still really good, and it holds up perfectly. That's how that works, right? Yes. And if I didn't have slight trouble pronouncing his name correctly, I would be saying it out loud right now. Yeah. It's also like, okay, so like it's this whole thing with like it was yeah, I have like a long time ago, but I remember liking Call of the Wild. Like there's probable like you have to really go into depth about the whole like Disney phenomenon and what a Disney movie is and why both Atlantis and Treasure Planet were not like what people consider like Disney movies to be. Because they were trying for a little bit something different. That's awesome. Great book. I love Jack London. Jack London wrote also wrote an early sci-fi book, right? Called what is it called? The Iron. Yeah, Jack London is great. No, what is it? It's a dystopian novel. He's considered the inventor of the dystopian genre by serious critics, and a lot of serious like literary critics consider him the inventor of the dystopian novel. Yeah. So like, okay, so I mean, they might never make those types of movies again because they have Marvel now. Root, good to see ya, buddy. Um. Okay, so they did actually make a movie like that recently, but nobody watched it. Which kind of proves the point. Um. Did any did you guys watch Strange Planet? Did anybody see Strange Planet? Um. I know Bong Joon Ho. Sorry, forgive me, people. Um. Director, the guy, Parasite, the director of Parasite, is making a sea monster movie. Now, Strange Planet, I would argue, is similar in like context. Is pretty similar in that it is an adventure movie. Similar to like a lot of these. It was a huge flop and nobody watched it. So for a variety, partly because they didn't advertise it. So and it was kind of similar in tone to like Atlantis and Treasure Planet. So I don't know. I don't know if Disney will ever make those types of movies. Ever feels the need to make those types of movies again. There's other reasons for it, kind of insidious reasons, possibly why it flopped. I never saw it, but yeah, myself. Yeah, yeah. It's this whole thing. It's complicated, and there's a bunch of politics, corporate politics and actual politics involved, and everybody got weird about it, and nobody knew it was coming out until it came out, really. Ooh, 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 boy. There are definitely movies like that. Boy. Um, ooh, boy. Let me think. Is it Strange Planet? Fantastical Planet? I might be forgetting the name. Um, hmm. Like so. Like a thing about me is I watched a ton of comedies. Comedy was always my favorite genre. It still is my favorite genre. So like there are a lot of like movies I found really funny as a kid that like oh boy do not hold up now. Uh, um, like there was this let's see, A Strange World. That's what I'm thinking. Like there was this movie that I really liked as a kid called What Could Go Wrong, I think is the name of it. Uh, what's the worst that could happen? It was Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito. That movie does not hold up at all. Uh, yeah, like, and especially what I found funny as a kid is a lot different from what I find funny as an adult. Uh, Dodgeball. Danny DeVito has been in a lot of crap. Danny DeVito is great, but he's been in a lot of crap. Yeah, I think that holds up. Let's see, Dodgeball. I rewatched recently. I don't think that one holds up all that well. Unfortunately, I loved that movie as a kid. I don't know. Um, a lot of comedies just don't aren't have not aged particularly well, unfortunately. Which makes the rare comedies that do age like really well, like all the better. Oh, God, so long ago. When I was, I have seen it. Go to bed, Opus. Go to bed. 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 Such a long time ago, but I have seen it. I did see Mighty Ducks. No, not particularly. Yeah. See you later. I might. It's always great seeing you. Let's see. What else has not aged particularly well? I will. Yeah, like that's yeah. There's a lot of comedy movies that are just aged like dirt, which is a shame because like comedy movies should be a lot like longer last. I don't know. I feel like you should be writing those a little bit. Like there's like a ton of movies I found funny at the time that I just find quite boring now. Yeah, I'm glad that holds up. I don't know. Maybe Dodgeball. I don't know. I rewatched Dodgeball a little while back, and I was quite disappointed how that didn't really hold up all that well. I don't know. It's like let's see. Anyways, let's see. But movies that did hold up have held up quite well. Let's talk about movies that have held up quite well. What do you think? What movies do you think have held up pretty well? Like a thing with like comedies, especially. Uh, movies I think have held up pretty well. Oh, you know what movies haven't held up at all? You know what movies haven't held up at all? This might be controversial. The Santa Claus movies. I really liked those as a kid. I don't think they hold up all that well. Yeah. Like you went back and rewatched recently. Yeah, the first one's the best, and then they get bad pretty quickly. Yeah. Yeah, only the first. I used to watch the whole series quite frequently, and I don't think that movie has held up. Yeah. Let's see. Um, boy, how long have I been on? Oh man. Um. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, those are fun. I always find it so funny in the vacation movies that. So what's up? Sorry, I'm losing energy myself. Honestly, I'm trying to see. Uh, there's a lot in it. I think, guys. I think I'm gonna. I think I don't think I got the energy to keep going, guys. We'll raid somebody. We'll raid. Let's send the raid train. Yeah, I am a little bit. Oh. I'm gonna send you guys to Birdie, okay? Yeah, I love talking movies. Birdie's streaming art, so we'll send you over to Bird's. Birdie's a friend. Yeah, I am. I don't got the energy to do it. Okay, everybody have a good time. Okay. Bye. Bye.